Welcome to Mental Millennials with your host, Shelby Friesen.
Okay, well,
this is the fucking pilot.
Tyler and I have been riding bikes every morning for the past 2 weeks now, and we're always just kind of sitting here talking about really useful shit. So,
I wouldn't say that.
Yeah.
It's not always useful.
Yesterday we were chatting a bit about like conversation and stuff about like relationships and friends and new encounters and stuff like that. And after we talked about it, I was like, man, why the hell didn't we, like, we should record some of this shit. So then we decided, why don't we try and do a podcast episode while we ride our bikes in the morning. So today, that is what we are going to do. And we have no idea what we're going to talk about. So, like every other morning, we just show up and see what the hell happens. And you had done another episode with me before.
Yeah, we did.
Actually, one of the very first. The first time I launched the podcast, I did my first 3 episodes. It was you, Dylan, and Kevin. Yeah, you guys are the first ones to come on.
Yeah. Yeah, so what are we calling this? It's going to be, is it like idiots on bikes, talk bullshit?
Yeah. Morning like bikes and bullshit.
Morning bike bullshit. Nice.
Yeah.
I literally woke up maybe 15 minutes ago. Rolled out of bed.
You still having a tough time like getting up? Like before, because you're trying to wake up earlier than.
Yeah, that was the whole point of this, was to get my ass out of bed.
Yeah, so maybe let's just talk about why we even started doing this. I think that would be good.
Yeah, well, you just casually mentioned it when we were on a hike.
What the hell did I say?
You were like, hey, like my friend kind of dropped off his bike at my place, so I have an extra bike. If you ever want to like use it or whatever.
Okay.
And then I thought about it. I basically was like, no, I don't want a bike. And then I'm like, I don't want to really road bike in your garage, dude.
Fuck you, man.
And then I was like, and then maybe a couple months later, I was just having this problem of not being able to get out of bed in the morning. Like I have a lot to do, but I just couldn't get my ass out of bed till like sometimes 9:30, 10, which is not bad for most people, I guess. But I wanted to be getting up at like 6:37. I was getting up at like 10 every day. So I figured I was either gonna join a class or do something like this. So I decided to reach out to you and
it was for some accountability in the morning.
Yeah, I need something to be accountable to. I was thinking like maybe like a yoga class or like a kickboxing or something.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah,
so I reached out to you and we set this up. And
yeah,
it sounded like you were having similar like accountability things with the bike.
Yeah, like I've been doing like running 7K a day for the past few weeks now, and I want like when I ride the bike, it helps a lot like with my muscles for running, but I just can't sit in here, ride the thing by myself every day for like 40 minutes. It's just like, it's really hard to bring myself to do it. For like the few weeks, I was getting up and doing some work and then running, but every day I was like, fuck, tomorrow I'm gonna ride the bike. Tomorrow I'll ride the bike. And then finally Tyler reached out. And like, you're like, oh dude, like it's fine if it's not still like an offer and all this shit. But like in reality, I was stoked because I was like, fuck, I'd way rather do that. Have someone who's here to make sure that I do that every morning too. So it's been like really good for the past couple of weeks. We haven't missed a day.
This is 2 weeks, no days missed.
Yeah, so this is the end of our second week. We've just been doing it Monday to Friday, but that's like a huge change for both of us in reality. Like if you're going to get an accountability partner, neither of us were doing this at all. And now both of us have done it every day for 2 weeks. Like that's a huge fucking change.
Huh. Yeah, no, it's been good. It's been good. I get it screwed on my gears. It's not something you hear in a normal podcast.
Nope. Yeah, we're not sure like how well this is gonna work. The audio might be terrible with the bike sounds in the back, but we should can probably dumb that down a bit.
You've got an editor, dude, don't you?
Yeah.
Edit this out.
And he just got a Zwifter too, bro, so we can do this.
Oh yeah. Well, that's what I was thinking. Like, if we actually did this, you could almost live stream it and have like a wake up and bike, like pop your YouTube on your screen,
Yeah,
hop on your bike and bike with us.
Oh, yeah.
Because you had other people who wanted to do this too. Like your mom gets on the bike.
Yeah, my mom. Well, that's the reason we got the bike here. Is my mom. I'm trying to get her to do more exercise and stay moving. I think that's like one of the biggest keys to staying alive. So I asked a friend, Jeremy, who's been on the podcast as well. He let us borrow the bike for the winter, and I just picked up another trainer so my mom can ride it. And yeah, like it's just kind of been escalating. Even in my life, like the past couple weeks, a big theme has been like staying disciplined with sharing about what we're doing. So most mornings I've been posting about riding with Tyler and running and stuff. And a lot of people have actually been reaching out and like getting on board with running and wanting to bike. And now Jeremy, who lent the bike's like, fuck, it's like, I want a bike. I keep seeing you guys bike every morning. So like, it's kind of funny. Well, how Jeremy, it works.
Jeremy, if you need your bike back, I'll get a bike and we can all bike in the morning. Thanks for letting me use your bike, man.
I know, it's like now, I was even talking to Carrie the other day. I was like, man, I don't care. Like, I'll put 6 fucking bikes in here in a row and we'll just all ride.
That'd be wild.
So kind of just going with the flow and like staying open to options. Because I feel like even previously, if someone would have asked me to come ride here, it's just like, what if I don't want to do it or whatever? But it's not really the point. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's why we're here.
Can that one go any higher?
The mic?
Yeah. I just wonder if it's... Oh, there you go. It's probably better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see where the future of our biking goes.
I was late 2 minutes today. Sorry about that. I didn't expect there to be ice on my windows on my car.
Oh, is it icy?
It was icy out there. But yeah. I'm pretty glad I haven't like skipped out or missed it yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's kind of cool too because like we don't even really check in. Like a lot of times when I would do these things or accountability, like each day that person would message me and go, hey, are we still doing it today? Or I would do the same thing where I go, hey, like still good for tomorrow? Still good for tomorrow? Whereas like, I don't even think we've texted since the first day.
No.
It was just like, I don't know, for some reason I just know you're coming and I don't even ask, and like vice versa. We both just show up. I actually don't really know why that is now that I think about it, because a lot of people, I don't know, just from previous relationships, have a lack of like trust that people are going to show up.
Yeah.
But for some reason that never really crossed my mind when we started doing this, which is kind of funny. But
yeah, I mean, I just like, for me, it's like, that'd be like the worst thing if I just like signed up for something and then it was like, didn't show up. Like, for me, that would like hurt myself. Like, I would like feel pain internally if I didn't just like, if I sign up for something and don't do it. Like, it's very, like, there's a lot of things I'll tell myself I want to do and then I don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
But if I sign up for someone and tell someone else, yo, I'm going to do this, we're going to do this.
Yeah.
Then I got to do it.
Yeah, I think it's a lot worse, or like, I don't know, it can be obviously a lot harder like on you too. I know nobody wants to fucking tell someone they're going to do something and not show up. It's like,
yeah, exactly,
the worst shit.
And there's been days where it's like definitely like sleeping in like going to bed at like 3 a.m. on a Sunday and waking up. And I wake up, I'm like, man, I literally got to be at Shelby's house in 7 minutes. I'm like, fuck. But still, it's been good too because you're only 5 minutes away. So
Yeah,
it's not too bad of a drive.
No, it's a really good commute.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been good. I find it's not that bad too. Like, the bike is good because you can really customize how hard you want to go. Like,
Yeah.
if you're feeling a little lazy, pop it in an easy gear and you have a little easy day. Or if you're feeling like extreme, you just, put in the highest gear. I guess the lowest, I don't know. But yeah.
It was actually funny because when I got this road bike, like the front gears, I don't know. Oh, because on the back of the bike, the gears go like biggest to smallest.
Yeah.
And the smallest one is like the hardest one. So like, if you're going down and you're on a small gear, it's going to be hard to pedal. But there's also 2 gears on the front.
Yeah.
And when I bought this bike, I'd never ridden a road bike before. And I was like, had it on the trainer, like on this, like stationary riding it all last winter. I was like, man, like, I can't, like, why is it so easy to pedal? Like, I'm on the hardest gear. And because on the front, there's a small ring and the big ring. But on the front, it's reversed. I was on the small ring the whole time because I thought it was the hardest to pedal. But I realized on the front, the big ring's the harder one.
Right.
And I rode it for like 4 months and had no clue. And then when I finally started riding it on the road, I was like, wait, I've never changed this gear before. And then I figured out I could go way faster.
Yeah.
I was just like spinning my little legs with no resistance. I was like, holy shit. But they are kind of, I don't know.
I never really thought about that until you just said it, honestly.
I know.
I just learned that too 1 minute ago.
They're weird to get used to, but it's, yeah. I also like actually riding on, like training on what you're actually going to use. Like I could go to a gym and just sit on one of those like lazy grandma bikes with the screen. But that's like not anything like what I'm going to be riding in the summer, like when we're actually road biking, or I don't know, might do another half Ironman or something next year. Like I'm going to be on this actual bike. Yeah. So I like to, although it's not as comfy and your ass hurts, you want to be training or using whatever you're going to be spending your time on.
Yeah, I agree. Like they have a bunch of those bikes at the gym and I just don't like them at all.
Yeah, they're pretty
this
shit.
It's way nicer. And it just like, I don't know, I hate going to the gym. It's kind of desensitized or like demotivating when everyone around you has just got like their iPhone propped up on their bike. They're just watching videos. And it's like, I'm not really here to watch videos. I'm here to like train, right?
Yeah.
And it's kind of, it makes you want to do the same. And you don't really go as hard. Whereas like when I'm beside you, I'll kind of look at how fast your legs are going. I'm like, okay, you got to go a little faster. So I try to keep up with you, knowing your cardio is way better than me.
Yeah.
So it's just good to have someone to be accountable with.
Yeah, I never really think about that. Like all the people just watching TV and stuff at the gym. Because even here, like we're using Zwift, which is like a virtual riding thing. So it like shows you on a screen riding, which is kind of just like, honestly, the only real reason is to track your distance, which is nice to have like a comparison, but it's not like watching a movie.
No.
And I find like when I'm doing this, I don't know, I just never have an urge to do that. Like, honestly, I wish I could read a book.
Yeah.
But it's like hard.
You wouldn't be able to stay on page.
No, I've tried, and then like I sweating all over the thing and shit. But like, I don't know, I think I enjoy, like when I work out, if I'm not talking, like because you and I ride together, if I'm not with you, I don't watch or listen to anything. Like when I'm on my runs, it's just silent. And I find that, I don't know, I think it's just like another good way to train. It's just like train yourself to be alone with your mind while you're doing these things. Because I know there's so many people, like every time I go running with them and stuff, they're like, well, fuck, like, always listen to music. I don't think I can do it without music. And it's crazy how much of a difference it can make. But in reality, like, you're not always going to be able to have music.
Yeah.
So I like to train for like worst case scenario, usually.
Yeah, I still train with music. Yeah, I'll put on some rock music. I don't really usually listen to rock music when I'm running. I do rock music because just like the drums and the guitar, and it's just like I get into it.
Yeah.
It just like amps you up. But I'm still trying to get better at running, so I'm not training for worst case yet.
And I actually did use it at the beginning, but I found it's like, I mean, in reality, I was just using it to drown out the like negative thoughts of, fuck this, I want to quit, I can't do this. But then it came to a weird shift where it actually felt like the music was like, man, just felt like it was being pushed, like it was being forced into me. I don't know, it was so weird. Like, I just felt like it was like infiltrating my head. And I was like, man, fuck, I can't listen to it. So for a long time, I'd actually listen to it for like the first kilometer or two to get over like the instant thoughts of like, screw this. And then after like kilometer or two, it would like reverse and it would start pissing me off, and I would just shut it off and run the rest without it, which was kind of funny.
Yeah, I hear you. I struggle with that sometimes too. Like if you have the wrong song on, that's actually worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Like a weird song, or find I can't listen to podcasts or anything. I tried doing a half marathon, listening to like an audio recording from one of the business trainings I was doing.
Yeah.
And like, it just started to drive me crazy because like, it's not pumping you up. I'm just like, I can't listen to this informative shit right now.
Yeah, your brain gets overloaded. And I find it like the scale of time is weird too. Like your time starts going the same speed as how fast they're talking. So it's like, they're like this old scientist dude. You're just going to be so unmotivated because he's like talking super slow.
Yeah.
Using big words. And like, I feel like time just slows down, makes it way harder. But if you have like, I don't know, I think what you said is best. Just don't use anything. Listen to your own brain.
Yeah, try and get to that point.
Yeah. But you're pretty conditioned now, like, because you've been doing a ton of running. So
yeah, like over the past year, it's definitely gotten a lot better. I also think it depends on how hard you're pushing yourself too. Like if you're just chilling at the gym, pedaling slow as shit on one of those things, like not really doing that much, and it's probably not even mentally straining.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're like, okay, just gonna spin my legs around in a circle casually while I watch some stuff. Whereas like if you're actually running or biking on the road and like having to go up a hill or something, I mean, even just biking normally, it's just way more mentally straining than just chilling. And I think it's like it's hard to focus if you're actually doing that.
Yeah.
So that's when I kind of just don't do that shit.
No, another thing that's been good is this watch. Like, I just got the watch, and just looking at my wrist here, saying like you burned 200 calories so far, your heart rate's 140. That to me is kind of motivating.
Yeah.
And it's like nice to know how long you started. Like, if I didn't have this right now, I don't think we'd be doing this for 20 minutes. We're like 10.
Yeah.
But it's like, damn, you've actually been doing this for 20 minutes. Like yesterday when I went to the gym, I was on the treadmill, and I'd be going for the 150, and that was just like an hour 50 at the workout, like not on the treadmill for an hour 50.
Oh, I was like, fuck, it's pretty long, man. You're half marathoning it.
No, but I was at the gym for an hour 50, and I was on the treadmill to end the workout, and I was like, damn, I'm done. Like, I can just stop right now. But then I looked at my wrist on my watch, and I was at 150. I was like, damn, let's just do another 10 minutes to make this a 2-hour workout. So it's kind of motivational in that way. just have like some sort of kind of thing to reference. And I was like, damn, like about like 900 calories here. If I go 10 more minutes, maybe I'll hit 1,000.
Yeah, it's like just going to that next number.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like doing that. I feel like I get like addicted to watching the kilometers
Yeah.
go up like on Zwift or when I'm running, and seeing them stack up like on Strava and other stuff. But like, I think the key too is just, it can get overwhelming to tell yourself, like even for us at first when we were like, okay, we're going to do 15K a day. Well, that's like still 30 minutes. Or yeah, it depends on the speed and the course we're on, but you're roughly like 30 to 35 minutes, 40 minutes, depending on the hill or whatever the hell. But to go like, okay, I'm going to ride this thing for 40 minutes every day from nothing is a lot.
Yeah.
And even for me, like adding it on, some mornings I'm like, fuck. I'm looking at it and we get out here at 7:45. Like, God damn it, I got to ride this thing till 8:30. But like, if you just tell yourself you're going to get on it and do like 10 minutes, what if I just say, you know what, I'll do 7:45 to 8. I'll just ride it for 15 minutes. If I really don't want to, I'll just get off.
Yeah.
But like once you're on it and you start doing it, whether it's running, whatever it is, then you just don't care. Then you're willing to like go that extra bit once you're on it. It's just like making sure you get on it and take one pedal, then you got the momentum.
Yeah. No, it's very similar to like when I was starting this with you. My whole mindset was, okay, I'll get up at 7:30. Takes me 7 minutes to get ready, 7 minutes to drive there. I'll be there at 7:45, right on time. I'll just do this shit for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, be back at 8:30, and then I'm going right back to bed. That was my whole thing. That was how I was getting through it. Just like, I'm going to go to bed right after this. Just like, show up. I have to show up. I told Shelby I'd show up. Just do the time, 45 minutes, then I'm going right back to bed. But then every single time, I've had that thought a couple times too, since every single time I'll go home, there's like, there's no way I'm sleeping. I can't sleep. Like, yeah. I'm sweaty as fuck. I'm so awake now. So it's like, just to what you said, just doing the first step, like, just like, literally just making sure you get there on time, doing the first 10 minutes, and then like, your whole mindset will change after that. Like, you'll be in there, you'll be on the bike for 10 minutes, like, oh, this isn't that bad. Do 10 more minutes. And then your mindset will get more and more into it. So,
yeah, you just got to keep rolling with it.
Just do the first step.
Yeah.
That's the whole problem. Like, I knew I had a bunch of shit to do every day, but I just couldn't do the first step of getting out of bed. It seems so bad. Like, I do kind of a lot of things, but like, I just couldn't motivate myself to get out of bed because I don't have a boss being like, you got to be at work at 8. Well, that doesn't exist in my life. So It's like, I'm the boss who's like, you got to get up at 8. But then I just lie to myself. I'm like, no, maybe 9:30. Maybe I'll just sleep till 10.
Well, I think that's like the funny part of people like looking at entrepreneurs or people have their own business and go like, man, that must be so nice. Like, whatever, you just do whatever you want. And like, yeah, that's fucking great. But what about the days where like, you're just sitting there like,
no,
fuck this, or the weeks, where you like don't do shit.
Yeah. And
I remember like when I used to work for other people and I'd like go out and get party and get all fucked up, I would be like, okay, like I have a job. Like I have to get up and go to this.
Yeah.
So, but like after I got up and did a day at work, I would just mentally feel so much better and like faster. But then when I started getting like my own business and deeper into it, it's like, okay, I would drink and then I'd be like, oh, fuck it. I'm just going to lay in bed for 2 days. But it'd take you like 3 days to recover and you'd waste all this time. You just have no motivation to get up. And even just it doesn't even matter if you drink or not. Like for you haven't been drinking. And even for me, a lot of days I just wake up, I'm like, fuck me today. I don't want to do shit. And I think that's like the hardest part. I think people think it's easy to do it. We're like, oh, whatever, you just get to do whatever you want, so who cares? But in reality, it's like, not really. Like, you still have to do that shit every day, and it's not always stuff you want to do. I think people think like you start a business and it's just like, yay, I get to do all the shit I want all day long. It's so fun.
Joke's on you.
Yeah.
It's
And,
a
like,
double-edged sword.
It obviously is great, but yeah, it's a double-edged sword. Like, there's really good things about it and also really tough things as well.
Yeah, I'd say running your own business is maybe 50% doing shit you want to do, maybe 50% doing shit you don't want to do.
Yeah.
Or it's honestly doing shit you don't want to do, and then the benefit is in the back of your head. You're like, as a grand scheme, this is kind of what I want to do. Like,
or you're like, well, definitely for the first few years, I feel, I don't know, depending on the business, you know, like some people, I don't know, I think it just depends on the business size, right? Like if you're someone who really enjoys just making little trinkets and selling them here and there,
yeah,
that's fun. Like you're enjoying that. But when you build like an actual business with a few employees and stuff, it's not like your hobby anymore.
no,
It's like, okay, I have to make sure these people are doing the right shit. And like, I feel like a lot of businesses start out, like both of ours, it started out with like us creating the stuff. So like I built the trucks and worked on the cars. And then like same with you, you were working on the websites, you were building all the pieces. But then once you want that to become a real business, you no longer get to do those things. You have to manage people to do that and other things. And that's where it gets hard, because then you're like, okay, I got to train these people or make sure they're doing it right, because it's just like, it's kind of like you're just chasing around, but you learn how to do it and evolve and learn new things and letting go of tasks and stuff. Like I think all that stuff's hard and weird, and just willing to change and adapt.
yeah, you almost got to fall in love with the new thing.
Yeah.
Like if you fall in love with whatever it is you're making to start the business, that's good. If you do it well, it'll take you far enough. But then at a point, it all like flips, and then you got to fall in love with building the business around that thing you used to love.
Yeah.
And it's like, not that you still love it. Like even today, like there's some things I definitely still do in the business that I'm like, yeah, this is awesome. But there's a million things that's just like, great, financial meeting with the accountant, 10 a.m. Not something I've ever had a passion for, like at all, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And you still got to do it. It's what keeps everything afloat. So it's like, there's just so many other things that, like the thing that you love to do, it becomes like 10% of the whole thing you've got to do.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah, it just evolves too, I think. And as you like learn more, then you want to evolve and change things. And I don't know. I feel like I've always just had the view of like, sometimes it's hard because I don't know. I feel like when I look at anything, like an item, a person, a business, whatever it is, my first thought in my mind is, how can I make that thing better?
yeah,
Like, how can it be better? I bought this juicer, and it was like one of the best juicers, called Norwalk. I get it home. First thing I fucking do is take the entire thing apart. Literally ripped it apart. I pulled all the panels off, checked out the hydraulic stuff inside. I was like, fuck, can make a way better one of these, honestly. But then I literally started designing it on the computer. I would like, had it all designed. I was like, yeah, because it's like a 2-stage juicer. It grinds up the pulp, and then you press it to get the stuff out. I was like, fuck this 2-stage thing. I want it one. So I designed one where it grinds it up and drops it into a chamber that presses from the side and then opens up and drops it out again. So you don't have to do the step. But then I was like, okay, in reality, I'm not going to launch that product or create that right now. I don't really care. It's just like when I see people, you know, they're doing something or they get whatever it is, like when they tell me about their life, I'm just like, okay, I wonder how they can like make more money or do something they like more often or whatever it is. And it's kind of weird because it can seem negative too, where like you're constantly thinking things aren't good enough. But in reality, I just think like, I just enjoy making things better.
yeah.
and always doing that.
Yeah, I think that's something I've struggled with too, is like, because everyone, like, I feel like I was seen in a negative light because I'd look at things and I'd be like, man, like, I see the flaws in it,
Yeah.
you know? And I just kind of want to fix the flaws, and I didn't really fully appreciate it because I saw these flaws in the thing.
Yeah. Okay, this is cool, but like you could also change all this shit and it'd be like pretty cooler.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like buy a new thing and be like, yeah, this is great. It's exactly what I want, but it's still like, I don't like that little part of it.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's kind of something I've had to work past too. Not so much like, just like building the ability to still like that thing with the flaws in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like even self, like you're not perfect either. Like I'm not perfect. So it's like,
Yeah.
you know, you gotta like yourself even with all the flaws.
Yeah,
So
you
it's
gotta
like-
be like comfortable with you now as well.
It's like this balance, because you can't just go around hating everything and be like, I want to fix that, make that better. I know the best way to make that.
Yeah.
But because
Make-
that skill is super important for entrepreneurialism and really changing the world. But then the same skill of loving things as they're broken, super important too. Because that'll give you like the empathy to actually go through and fix it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it's also like the wording you use and stuff too, I think.
Yeah.
Especially when I'm talking to myself, which sounds crazy, but or like thinking to myself or to other people, like talking to other people, like what wording am I saying when like someone's telling me about their life and I think there's like a shift they could make, and like using wording instead of like, you don't want to make it sound negative or like towards them. You just want to, or maybe like start by congratulating them or being happy for what they're doing,
Yeah.
and then talk about like, oh shit, I like, you know what you said there, maybe you could actually try this, like that might be cool, or you know, give them an example of something
Yeah.
instead of just like, oh well fuck, you should just change that. You know what I mean? Like, because
Yeah.
in reality they're not even asking for advice.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking advice in my head and I'm like, okay. And like, you don't always have to give it. You can just talk. And I think that's another thing, is just holding back. Like some people are just happy with themselves. And like,
Yeah.
I guess that sounds bad too. Like when I'm not happy with myself.
No, they're
But, like,
content. They're content. with
Yeah.
where
And
they're
like,
at.
I guess I'm just not really content that often. I'm like, I don't know. I am and I'm not. I'm getting much better with it. But I think, yeah, I don't know. I also start to appreciate people who are like that more, where I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck, sometimes I just would love to just be like that right now.
Yeah, they just kind of float through the world and they're happy doing that. And that's another skill in itself. Like just down for whatever happens.
Mm-hmm.
That's something I don't really have that I'm trying to work on more.
Yeah.
Like I definitely used to be like abrasive to everything. And I'd be like, oh, that's a great idea, but like let's just do it this way because I think it's better. And It's
Yeah.
like, or you could just say like, yeah, that's a great idea, let's do it. And then go through with it. And I'll still probably have a great time.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, 100%. Just trying new shit.
I don't know, AJ, my employee said to me this one time, he's like giving feedback's like giving someone a sandwich. It's like, okay, what does that mean?
I'm like, okay, what kind of sandwich is it?
Yeah.
Like, it's gonna be really good or really bad?
No, it's just basic. It can just be like a peanut butter jelly. So you got like the top layers, your first piece of bread, and that's the kind feedback. That's like, hey, like, I see what you're doing. I like it, this part of it. I like this part of it. You've honestly been doing a really good job. And then there's the middle part where it's like your peanut butter jelly, the sticky stuff. You're like, the one part that I think you could improve on is this little thing here. I see you kind of missing this little part of it. And if you kind of change the way you did that, the whole thing would be way better.
Yeah.
And then that's your middle part of the sandwich. And then you got your bottom bread slice.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where you go back to the kind thing of like, the whole thing is pretty good. Like, honestly, you've been doing a good job at it. But like, I think if you make that one improvement, this whole product's going to turn out way better. And I think you can do it. And I'm just telling you this so that you can make a whole better product as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I see more potential within you. And I think this one little piece of advice make the whole thing way better. What do you think?
Yeah.
And that's like the sandwich there.
Yeah, and I think also offering it as like just an offering and not like
Yeah.
You don't tell people what to do or what to believe. Just offer them an opinion. It's like, oh, like, yeah, you know, this is what I think about it, but like, I don't know, just might be food for thought. Instead of a lot of people, you tell them like, no, you shouldn't do that. Don't do that. Like, you got to do it this way. And I'm just kind of like, bro, can't tell me. I don't know. I just don't think you should ever tell someone what to believe. I think it's fine to offer anything, but just in a nice, like in a nice offer, not forcing beliefs or
do it this way
ways on people. Yeah.
No, people don't like being told what to do. I don't like,
but I like telling people what to do, bro.
Yeah, everyone likes telling people what to do. That's the problem.
But guess what? No. I'm not fucking right.
No one is.
I don't know shit, so don't listen to me when I tell you to do shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody's right.
Yeah.
Okay, we're almost at 20K here. All right.
It's pretty crazy.
Dude, like, that's it. 8:30.
8:30.
We're done, bro.
We've only done 37 minutes.
I know. But I got a call at 9 and I got a shower.
We got to wrap this up then.
But that's still good. We did 20.
20K.
Yeah, good. We normally start at 7:45. We were just a bit late this morning because we were setting up our sweet-ass camera bike setup.
The pilot
but yeah,
episode.
Maybe even for next week, we could ask people if there's something they want us to talk about, or we could like pick a subject. Yeah.
No, it's funny because I was in the morning, I was like, man, what are we going to do? Like, what are we going to talk about on this? Like, I'm like, wait, great. I got to wake up first thing. I'm going to be on camera on a microphone. Haven't showered, woke up 10 minutes ago. And then like, I was like, what the hell are we going to talk about? And I had to work hard to like put that thought in the garbage. Yeah. Like, whatever. It doesn't matter what we talk about at all.
I know.
Like,
yeah, man, I looked in the mirror and my hair was like all fucked from in bed. And I was like, oh, wait. I'm supposed to be on the camera, but then I was like, I don't even fucking care. I'm like, hey, I'm going to be sweating my pisser off. So, like, who gives a shit? I'm going to look dumb as hell.
We just burned 400 calories. That's what matters.
Yeah, man.
Heart rate's skyrocketing. All right. Well, that was good.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll do it again next Friday.
Fuck yeah.